Time now to take a look at the week's stories that impact branding and brands. Branding expert, host of the Chatter That Matters podcast, Tony Chapman, joining us live now. Hey, Tony, great to see you.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we look forward to this Thursday morning segment with you every week, Tony. This is something a lot of people kind of saw coming, the WestJet strike. The talks have been going on for, months and months, but all of a sudden over the long weekend, there was that 30-hour stoppage, delayed a lot of flights, ruined a lot of people's travel plans. But WestJet's back to business now. How would you grade overall how the airline is sort of coming back to this? And is the airline really doing enough for those passengers whose trips were destroyed, traveled, interrupted, etc.?
So I'm going to quickly go back in time. 2018 was WestJet's heyday. Canada's favorite airline gets acquired by private equity. 3 strikes later, which is last one, it's really hurting their reputation. And the reason being is it's a much more complex airline now. They have Sunwing, they bought Swoop, and they have 250,000 stranded passengers. The way a passenger wants to be dealt with, clarity, empathy, and ownership.
Yeah.
And the problem when you have that many people stranded, and you call it a 30-hour strike, it takes a week to get an airline back. You're going to have a lot of people, and today, because of social media, they have a platform. And that platform, people like to share it because they like to know that the consumer's on the wrong end of the brand stick. And so this is what's happened for WestJet. So how they handle it, probably pretty good given the complexity, but even a dozen or 1,000 or, it could be 1,500 people left stranded, not hearing, no empathy, no ownership. Creates a massive brand stain. And that's what WestJet has now become, just like another airline versus what it used to be, Canada's friendly airline.
Yeah, it's such an interesting point, Tony, you raise about, everyone has a phone. Social media has really amplified the word of mouth kind of mechanism behind, how people talk about brands.
Absolutely. And for the people that are in charge of their brand, I love what you're doing on Instagram. You have Instagram to sort of say, hey, this is my other side. I'm a comedian. WestJet, all they're going to be getting is a lot of social media slingshots. And people are angry if they feel that they're stranded. Again, clarity, communicate with me. Have empathy. I'm the one that's stranded. I'm the one stuck in this place. And 3, take ownership, which means if you haven't got a ticket for me, get me to a hotel. Just do what you need to do for me. And that's the issue they're facing on social media is there's been a lot of people that didn't get those 3 steps.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
or at least feel
yeah, exactly. Heard some serious stories. Another big story that we're talking about, it's only August the 6th, but I've seen in several stores back to school goods already on the shelves. The promos are starting to come out. We're getting pitches from different, retailers and stuff. People are going to be spending, and it's a big spend, but it seems to be starting earlier and earlier. What's behind this? Retailers trying to get in on this?
So it's a $4.5 billion spend. It's the 3rd biggest season. Like, it's massive for retailers.
It's kind of Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas size. 6 million students and another 1.5 secondary. So a big market to serve. Parents will spend an average of $600 to $800, including electronics. So it's all big. What we're seeing, though, is parents trying to manage their cash flow, starting to buy much earlier in the summer. And that's interesting. 44% of them are now using AI to find the best deals. So it used to be, I'm going to go to flyers, I'm going to do word of mouth. Now I'm using my AI to say, where can I get? I need this, 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 and this. And people are doing it. So we're still seeing thankfully, a lot of traffic to retail, but retailers are having to sharpen their pencils earlier, knowing people are shopping earlier, and more importantly, shopping with information. Brand loyalty is out the window. I want the best possible deals, the biggest bang for my dollar, because money's tight.
And you talk about retail traffic. We saw one poll or study that said 99% of parents or shoppers are going to be in store, which seems to buck the trend.
Part of it is the experience of shopping with your kids before back to school. They get excited. It's part of getting them wound up after a beautiful summer, trying to convince them that going back to school is a good thing. So they go out, and especially the elementary schools, you're buying your pencil case. What lunchbox do you want? It's part of that. It's part of that event.
Right. Okay, Tony, very quickly, Cracker Barrel CEO departs a year after Trump kind of joined the backlash over that logo change. What's your take?
This was a country store with country meals, and it stood out for that. And a private equity comes in. We're going to modernize it. We're going to take off that uncle who absolutely exists.
Uncle Herschel.
They never actually talked to him. They never talked to. All of this stuff was part of their folklore. But with private equity buys it, we're going to squeeze and do things better. This is the fall. The fall is the CEO, but ultimately private equity has to look at themselves saying, why did you buy this and try to turn it into that when this was working really well? And that's the problem we have when we have, much like WestJet, new investors come in. How can I squeeze out more profit? And what often happens is your culture and your soul is the one that pays the biggest price.
All right, full circle there. All right, we got to land this plane and move on. Tony Chapman, appreciate this. See you next week.
All right.
Thank you, Tony.